Well, when I talked to you previously, I told you I listen to some podcasts. I love listening to people talk. I love listening to people get interviewed. I love to hear about people's lives. I'm just interested in the world around me and how people interact with the world around them. And that helps me grow and that helps me learn. So what I started telling you is a very horrible past. And there's a lot more to it, and there was a lot of destruction in my past. But at this stage, I'm a dad. At this stage, I have 2 daughters. I have one daughter who's 14 years old, getting ready to turn 15. And at 14 years old, I was using coke. And I have another daughter who's 9, getting ready to be 10. So I'm also divorced. And now I didn't have a dad growing up. My dad wasn't in the picture at all, as wasn't a lot of the dads that were,
now
fathers.
Let me ask you this as you're unveiling your story.
Yeah.
So just for context, he wasn't around. What do you mean he wasn't around? Can you be more specific?
Yeah, definitely. He wasn't in the picture at all. He from what I've learned over the years, and I know him now, and we'll get into that as well. But he had a little fling with my mom, and then he was already signed up for the Air Force, and he went to resume the life that he had already planned.
Okay.
I have my sister right under me. My father has 4 kids, 4 other kids besides me. She's 3 months younger than I am. So he had already went to resume his life. Okay. And he joined the military, and they moved around, and he had 4 kids, and he had that life. And so he wasn't, I was just a fling, and that was that, So yeah, he wasn't in the picture at all. I knew his name, and that was it. And I don't even know how I learned his name. Somebody, told me his name, but that's all I knew about my father. I knew his name.
Okay. I just wanted to ask. Go ahead.
So with that said, so I'm divorced, and I have my girls, and I have 50-50 custody with my girls. And I don't pay child support, and I don't pay any alimony because I have a wonderful ex-wife, and we worked it out. We worked it out amongst ourselves. We didn't start there, though.
Oh, it was gritty.
I don't want to give the impression like we started there and everything was great, No, it was rough in the beginning.
Okay, good.
And the truth is I wasn't seeing my girls as much as I had desired to. That even though the marriage didn't work out, I still wanted to be a dad. I still wanted to be a crucial part of my daughters' lives. And what I had seen, number one, me not growing up with a father, and number 2, sometimes dads are put on these court stipulations where, they're just not seeing their kids enough. And I thought about that. I thought about that in the grand scheme of things. I thought about that we only got this one shot at life. And sometimes we make bad choices. I made a lot of bad choices in my life. But the fact that my marriage didn't work out, I didn't feel like I should be punished for that as a father. And when you're on these court stipulated visitations, I feel like that's some sort of punishment. Like, hey, you didn't stick in the marriage for whatever reason. Now you're going to be forced to only see your children during these times, these days. And that's rough because I did that for a little while. And I thought about my own life and how I didn't have a dad at all. And I didn't have any male figures in my life. And the truth is though my grandmother worked hard to take care of me, nobody was loving me. Nobody was encouraging me. No one was hugging me. And I thought about all that stuff. And I still wanted to be a dad to my girl.
So, but because I know a large part of the audience you're going to have when your podcast is created, it's going to be probably dads just like yourself going through the same thing. But I'm very curious to know, I know for sure everything that you just said is true because my father wasn't around as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
Right. But I believe exactly what you just said. I believe that sometimes the relationship between the parents gets so toxic that the one of the other parents, they lose the energy and the fight they forget and they lose sight of what's most important.
Bad credit affects where you live, what you drive, and even your current or next job. With so many frustrating issues that happen in life, we can help you find relief. Text 480-358-7725 today. Not only will we fix your credit, but we will educate you so you can educate your family. Now back to your favorite podcast.